This video will cover making a new file from scratch in Photoshop. This is a fundamental skill, and you'll use it almost every time you work in the program. You can see I've got Photoshop open, but I haven't opened any files yet. Let's go ahead and create a new blank image file. To do that, we need to bring up the new Document Dialog. We can get there by clicking File, New from the menu bar, or hitting Control-N on the keyboard in Windows or Command-N in Mac. The new document window is divided into two parts. On the left, we've got shortcuts to preset document sizes. And on the right, we've got detailed settings where we can adjust any of those presets or make our own. You can see when I click on the default Photoshop size template how some of those values change. For now, I'll just be working in the right-hand column since there's no preset for exactly what I need for assignment 2. First, our file needs a name. It's good to get in the habit of always giving your files descriptive names. For a class setting like this, it's also a good idea to put your last name in the file name so that I don't accidentally mix it up with somebody else's. Now let's set the width and the height. I'd like a file that's 8.5 inches by 11 inches. I want to make sure my units are inches and not pixels or centimeters or some other unit. Photoshop is smart enough to detect whether or not those dimensions are portrait or landscape orientation. I can see this portrait icon is highlighted, and if I wanted to, I could switch to landscape, which just swaps out the numbers in the width and the height. I've got an option here for artboards, which might make sense if I were making something with multiple pages that needed more than one canvas in the same file. But in this case, I'll leave it unchecked. Now we need to set the resolution, and what I'm intending this document to be is a relatively high quality 8.5 by 11 image that I could print. So 300 pixels per inch should give us plenty of resolution to work with. We'll set the color mode to RGB color, and that's going to give us the widest range of possible colors for the types of images that we'll be working with in this unit. In other workflows, it might make more sense to use CMYK color for commercial printing, or grayscale if we were just working in black and white. Next to color mode is a setting for the bit depth, and that is basically how much color information we're asking each pixel to keep track of. 8-bit is going to be plenty for us here. There's an option for background contents, which lets us set a colored or transparent background layer. I find white works just fine, but that's more or less a personal preference. Last, we want to take a look at the advanced options. So if yours are hidden, you might need to click the little blue link that says Advanced Options. Here we want to set a color profile, which can be very helpful in getting the colors that you see on screen to match up with colors in the printed version. There are many different color profiles, but Pro Photo RGB is going to give us the widest range of possible printing colors for the types of images that we'll be working with in this unit. Okay, we've got all our settings. Let's go ahead and click Create. Now what we have here is a blank file, and it has assigned to it all those settings that we just put into the new document dialog. But it doesn't have a location where it's being saved, and it doesn't have a format yet. We'll cover saving and formatting in a separate video. So that's an overview of making a new file from scratch in Photoshop.